Hello everyone, it's Mark Scholaro, the owner of MS Classic Cars, and I'm coming right back at you with another spectacular vehicle. Today, I'm sitting behind the wheel of an absolutely beautiful 2002 BMW Z8 that only has 8,900 original miles. You gotta check this out. It's showtime. To start off this video here, this is a non-rehearsed video. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of information that I forget during this presentation, so please visit our website at msclassiccars.com for a complete description with tons of highly detailed photos. This video here is entertaining at times, but the point of the video is to be transparent, educational, and provide as much information as I possibly can. So I do apologize if it gets boring at times, but the point is to educate a potential buyer as best I can. With that being said, MS Classic Cars only collects number 1 and number 2 condition vehicles. We've been doing that since inception. We are the only classic car dealership in the country who services everything we sell, and we document the work with an invoice. When the vehicles are done through the vigorous service process, we detail them to the highest level, starting from the undercarriage and working our way to the top. Once the vehicles are done, we do great photography. Again, make sure to check out all of the pictures on this vehicle in our gallery. Again, we take over 150, sometimes 200 photos of a vehicle, so you can see as many angles and photos of different areas of the car and so forth. Once the vehicle is sold, I will work directly with the new owner, take care of all the paperwork. I also will assist with the enclosed transportation. When the vehicle goes inside the carrier, I will even cover it with a brand new plastic cover to ensure it arrives at your doorstep as clean as it left here today. Now, let's first start by saying a couple of things that I'd like to add to this presentation, which is kind of cool. My wife and I, yesterday, she is the one responsible for finding them. We had to go through a bunch of boxes in our basement, but lo and behold, we have these framed pieces of paper here. This is a purchase and sales agreement. The date on here is June 7th, 2000. So we're talking about 22 years ago. Yours truly, Mark Scholaro, sold a BMW Z8 to a gentleman in California. I don't know if people are aware of this or not, but at the time when these cars were released, obviously there was a huge demand for them. Certain dealers had allocations, certain dealers did not. It's kind of a really big deal for me to say this, but I sold this vehicle for $250,000 22 years ago. It was worth me saving this purchase and sales agreement. I framed it, I'll always keep it. And to follow up that purchase and sales agreement, BMW sent me this letter here basically saying that Mark Scholaro was excellent. I flew out to ensure the customer satisfaction at time of delivery. So when that Z8 came in, which was silver with red interior, I flew out to California, met the car carrier at the gentleman's house, and then I did my delivery, and then him and I drove the vehicle around the San Francisco Bay Area. It was a wonderful experience, and I just wanted to share that. So for anybody who thinks that these cars are peaking today, I have news for you. These cars were peaking the day that BMW announced that they were making it and putting it into production and so forth. So I only see the sky is the limit with these. These are very, very beautiful cars. They're very collectible, and they're truly an investment piece. This is a great opportunity. So with that being said, I'm going to read you the first paragraph, which I have composed a bunch of information off of different sources and different areas that I learned about Z8s, put them into one paragraph. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the history of this vehicle so you kind of get an overview of what it is. And then I am going to share some information in this binder. When I'm done going over all of that, what I'm going to do, which is a little bit different than we normally do, I'm going to get outside the vehicle. We're going to do a full presentation. Exterior, interior, engine compartment, talk a little bit about the undercarriage and so forth. So that's going to be how we'll do it. And then I'll get back into the vehicle. We'll go ahead and do a cold start, let you listen how beautiful it runs, and then we'll conclude the video. So the first thing I'd like to say here is this gorgeous 2002 BMW Z8 is a wonderful example with only 8,900 miles. Let's talk about a wonderful example. Like a lot of exotic cars that are out there, especially limited production cars, you have to be very careful about what you're looking at because a lot of these vehicles weren't handled properly when they were new. They were abused. They just were, taken different places at, higher speeds and so forth. And they, people just kind of treated them like an everyday car. So it was very important for me. I've been looking for one of these cars for a long time. It was important for me that I had one that had great ownership history. Obviously, it had to have a perfect Carfax report. I wanted all original paint. I wanted something that had low miles and something that was a desirable color combination. It took me years and years and years to find the car that was right for MS Classic Cars, and here it is today. So just want to make sure I touch base on that. This BMW Z8 is highly collectible. It's a German sports car that was only produced for 3 model years ranging from 2001 to 2003. A total of 5,703 were produced worldwide, of which 2,543 were for the North American market. So only 2,543 of these vehicles came into the US. That's a really low production number over that 3-year span. The Z8 originally was designed in styling intended to evoke and celebrate the 56 through 59 BMW 507. Prototypes were spotted testing between 1996 and 1999. A concept was later developed to preview the Z8 called the Z07 and showcased in October of '97 at the Tokyo Motor Show. The Z8 was showcased as James Bond's car in the film The World Is Not Enough, which was released in 1999. This example that I'm sitting in here today is dated November of 2001 and is one of only 524 produced in the 2002 model year. Think about that. In 2002, only 524 were produced. This is one of them. As the original window sticker indicates, it was finished in titanium silver with an exterior with a Napa black all-leather interior. It is just one of 1895 ever produced in this desirable color combination. This example was shipped to Classic BMW, located in Turnersville, New Jersey, and sold to its first owner, who lived in Winnetaw, New Jersey, on February 8, 2002. It was purchased by a dealership in Greenwich, Connecticut on June 3, 2004, with only 3,589 miles. The dealership sold the car to its second owner on May 19, 2005, with 4,757 miles. The second owner lived in Goshen, Connecticut, and purchased this vehicle as an investment. In July of 2009, the second owner moved to Millbrook, New York. As the clean Carfax indicates, the second owner only averaged a few hundred miles per year. Again, this was an investment car. The car was always maintained and stored properly. The second owner decided to sell the car after 17 years of ownership. Again, that's what I loved about this car. It was with the last owner for 17 years. To MS Classic Cars on May 6, 2022. MS Classic Cars immediately scheduled an appointment with BMW of Warwick for a complete inspection and comprehensive service. MS Classic Cars went above and beyond with the service, which totaled $7,117.98. During the detailing process, the vehicle was ceramic coated with Gtechniq Crystal Serum Ultra. The service and detail invoice is included. It's pictured in our photo gallery. The original 2 key fobs, valet key, owner's manual, hardtop stand, soft top boot cover, windscreen bag, toolkit, first aid kit, front license plate bracket, touch-up paint, and Carfax are included. The only thing that's not included, which was misplaced years ago, is the coffee table book. Again, not a big deal, but just want to make sure people knew that was not included. So, in this binder here, which I create for every single car that I sell, it's a brand new binder. Everything is in methodical order here, in plastic sleeves. I have all the production numbers that I just reviewed with you. I highlighted everything so the new owner can flip through all this. This is the clean Carfax report that I mentioned. Again, we're a Carfax dealer, so you'll see it was provided by MS Classic Cars. Again, all of this is in our photo gallery, and then all of the invoices for some of the previous service work and all the service work that we had done to the car, and then of course the original window sticker. All of that information is in this binder. It's time for me to touch base on the service, okay? I'm gonna tell you a true story. It's interesting when you see these vehicles on the market for sale, for that matter, most vehicles, and people will say that the vehicles are serviced. And I find that to be a real loose used word in the sense that the vehicles are not really serviced. And no offense to the dealers, I'm referring to the new car dealers. At MS Classic Cars, we take great pride in servicing all of our own inventory. We have 4 full-time mechanics, but we specialize in classic cars. So when I get something that's newer, say typically from maybe the 80s, like we just sold a Lamborghini Countach 1987, that would be something I would send to the Lamborghini dealer. Well, this vehicle being a 2002, being a BMW, I just wanted to bring it to the dealer to have it serviced. So we bring the vehicle to the dealership. The dealership puts their team leader, who's a great guy, on the car. Again, this is BMW of Warwick, and he basically does his whole inspection. He says the vehicle's in beautiful condition. He recommends maybe just an oil change and a couple of other things. And I was a little bit surprised because I said to myself, I just don't think that because they're used to the normal used car dealer or the normal customer that just says, yeah, just do a quick service and let me get the car back. So I had a conversation with the general manager, the service manager, and the team leader, and I said, listen, this is Mark Shalero, this is MS Classic Cars, we do things different here. I said, as an example, in the tires, why are we going to be putting, which we have, the original tires, why are we going to be putting Michelin Pilot Sports on this car? And they said, well, that's just what most people use. And I said, I'd like to use something that's more similar to the original Bridgestone tires. And they said, well, they do make a tire that's very similar, but it's a lot more expensive. I said, let's go ahead and do it. So as you will see on that invoice from BMW of Warwick, I went way above and beyond for the service on this car. As I just mentioned earlier, we invested a ton of money in this car, not because a lot of it had to be done, it was just stuff that I wanted to be done. So I want somebody who's truly looking at a Z8 to take into consideration all the stuff that we had done to this car. As an example, I said I would want to change the spark plugs. They had said, well, normally spark plugs are changed based on mileage. And I said, I understand that. The car does only have 8,900 miles, but the spark plugs are basically 22 years old. I want to put in new spark plugs. So there's an example where it didn't really need it, but I wanted to do it. The list just goes on and on. I even changed the flashlight, which wasn't working in the back of this seat here. There's a flashlight from BMW. You will even see that on my invoice. So please understand and make sure you're doing apples to apples comparisons with other BMW Z8s when you're looking at this vehicle here. Once again, we invested a total of $9,047.88 in this vehicle between the touch-up paint that we had ordered, the fuel that we put in the car, the service at the BMW dealership, and the Gtechniq Crystal Serum ceramic coat that we did to it. So please keep that all in mind when you're looking at this vehicle, that MS Classic Cars truly goes above and beyond. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to get out of the vehicle now. I'm going to do that presentation that I mentioned earlier, and then when I'm done, we're going to get back into the vehicle. We'll start it and let you listen how beautiful it runs. All right, thank you. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do a complete presentation of this vehicle, starting with the exterior. I will make my way over to the top, then I'll get into the interior, put the top down, and also walk around the back of the car. We'll kind of make our way over to the engine compartment and we'll finish there. So if you want to come a little bit closer here, as I mentioned earlier, this car is in spectacular condition. We have done an extensive detail to the entire vehicle from top to bottom at MS Classic Cars. We did a full paint correction, which means that we just really got deep into the paint to remove any imperfections that there are, and then we applied a ceramic coat. It was a Gtechniq Crystal Serum product is what it is. It's a super product. We do that here at MS Classic Cars. So it came out absolutely stunning. This vehicle does retain all of its original factory paint, which I'm going to demonstrate here with an electronic paint meter just to show the consistency throughout the entire vehicle. And I will also use this flashlight here. This is a snap-on flashlight that will really showcase everything as I go around the vehicle. Again, my goal here is to just be as transparent as possible. I just want to make note of any imperfection on this car. Please keep in mind, this vehicle is 20 years old. This is not a 2-year-old or 5-year-old or 10-year-old car. This car is 20 years old. It is absolutely spectacular. So let's start with the front here. The first thing I'm going to do is kind of focus on the front bumper area. If we get down here with my light, you'll see that it's in absolutely beautiful condition. These headlight covers here tend to get really foggy. That's one of the things with the BMW Z8. These are almost crystal clear. There's a tiny, tiny bit of fogging if you really look at them closely, but again, not anything to be concerned about. All of these lenses here are beautiful. The chrome around here is beautiful. There's really no imperfections in the black portion of the grille. As we get down a little bit lower, you'll see the holes for the front license plate bracket. Those are not imperfections. Those are just factory holes. But again, I don't see anything on this front section here that's worth mentioning. The one thing I will mention, which again is very common, is down below here on this front lip, we do have chips. This is the common area for the BMW Z8. Again, because we're roughly 6 inches off the ground here, we do have a series of very small chips that have been touched up over the years. You don't really see those when you're looking at the vehicle standing up. It's just when you get down low. And then underneath here, it does have a few scratches, which you can see in our undercarriage photos, where this might have rubbed getting inside of an enclosed trailer, or maybe a flatbed trailer, or maybe a curb or something like that. So that's really, again, the only imperfections that are on this front end are more on the bottom here. When we look at the hood is spectacular. Keep in mind that this hood is under these real high-density style lights that we have in the showroom, so they really pull out a lot of imperfections on cars. Starting kind of from the back, and I'm going to work my way to the front, I really don't see any imperfections to speak of. There's a little tiny spot right there. Again, that's a pin size imperfection is how I would describe it. Don't see anything else on this entire hood. It looks absolutely beautiful, super. When we do our electronic paint meter, which I'm going to demonstrate right now, Again, we're looking for consistency. Typically new cars, depending on the manufacturer, year, make, model, etc. Normally these read with this particular unit here somewhere between like 3 and 8. Sometimes they go as high as 9, again, depending on the manufacturer. This car has also been ceramic coated, which does put a little layer on there, but nothing that's going to mess up the paint meter readings. So let's go ahead and start with the paint meter here. I'll hit it in just various areas. We got a 4.0. Again, that's original factory paint. What I'll do is I'll just kind of hit it over here as well. And that's a 5.0. So we got very consistent paint meter readings on this hood. These little chrome pieces here are also in beautiful condition. So let's talk about the driver's side front fender. This fender here is in beautiful condition. Again, I'm going to break out my light here. There might be the tiniest little pin-sized chip there. Again, you really have to use the light to see it. The guys did a beautiful job in the detail department. This vehicle is free of any swirls. The paint looks absolutely gorgeous. All this chrome work in here is beautiful. There's no dings, no dents. On the subject of the front here, we can also talk about these wheels. These are the original factory wheels here. They're in beautiful condition. You see no curb rash whatsoever. There is a little imperfection there. There might be a couple pin size imperfections here or there. But again, these are in beautiful condition. Again, as I mentioned earlier, this car was fully serviced to a very high level. We did not go with the Michelin Pilot Sports, which are relatively inexpensive compared to these. These are as close to the original tires as possible. These Bridgestones, these are the Potenza RE050A, and they're 245, 4518 tires, brand spanking new tires, beautiful condition. As we make our way over to this side of the car, we got the front windshield here, which is original. It's in beautiful condition. There might be the tiniest few little imperfections on the windshield, which is, again, very, very common. These are authentic BMW windshield wipers. I want to say they were like $500. You'll have to reference the invoice from the BMW dealer when I had the car serviced. Let's talk about these mirrors here. These are chrome mirrors. They match those pieces in the front fenders there. They are in beautiful condition. All the seals are beautiful. This car was obviously extremely well cared for its entire life. You can see the fit and finish here of all the seals, how the top fits and everything else. Looking at the door, again, free of any dents, any scratches, any imperfections. Again, I'm looking for pin size chips. I see absolutely nothing. This chrome door handle's in beautiful condition. Everything just looks great. I will go ahead, before I forget, and I will go ahead and show you the paint meter reading on the fenders. The fenders on these Z8s tend to always read a little bit higher than the hood does. You'll see consistency on the other side as well. We got an 8.5, we got an 8.0. If I go down here a little bit lower, we got a 6.5. So again, all very consistent numbers. I can make my way over to the door here. It's a 5.5. Again, hit it here as well, 5.5. One more time, 4.5. So very consistent numbers. As I mentioned earlier, you want to be between that 3 and 8 range on this particular electronic paint meter. Now, on the subject of the top, as we make our way over here, this top is a power top, which I'm going to demonstrate it folding down in a second here. This is in beautiful condition. In the corners, when it folds down, which it spent most of its life down because the hard top was on, which is there. We're going to talk about the hard top in a minute. Or the top was just off completely, and this was left in its section back here. So with that being said, this is only wrinkly because it was sitting in there for so long. There is no rip here at all, to be very clear. There's a little wear mark, again, just from its sitting. I would assume that if somebody left this soft top up, it would eventually stretch, especially if you put it in the sun. But there's really no imperfections on here to speak of. It is in absolutely beautiful condition. It's very tight and very nice. So what I'm going to do is walk around the rest of the vehicle. We'll kind of come back to this area here. I'll put the top down, talk about the interior a little bit, and then we'll make our way to the engine compartment. So as we look at this rear driver's side quarter here, again with the flashlight, it's in beautiful condition. I don't see one single imperfection to talk about. No dings, no dents, no scratches. Here again is the brand new tire. These rims are in beautiful condition. This rim is almost flawless. It's got maybe a little tiny blemish there. Again, no curb rash, just a beautiful wheel. Making our way over to the back trunk area. Oh, before I forget, let me do the paint meter on this rear quarter. So we got a 4.0. I'll do it over here as well, give you one more shot. 3.0. So again, very consistent numbers. Coming around the back side, again, this is in beautiful condition here. Super nice. Not even a pin-sized chip. You can see the third brake light back there. Again, nothing. No imperfections at all. The chrome is beautiful. These lenses back here are beautiful. On the subject of the rear, we can look at the bumper as well and see those dual exhaust tips there. Again, nothing. I don't see one imperfection here. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'll put this paint meter on here. We got a 3.0 again. 3.0 again. 3.0 again. So very consistent numbers. Oh, that's plastic. So making our way over now to the passenger rear quarter bumper area. Beautiful condition. No imperfections to speak of whatsoever. No dings, no dents. Again, amazing. Brand new tires. These wheels are also in beautiful condition. Once again, there might be a pin-sized imperfection here or there if you really pull out your magnifying glass, but again, they're in beautiful condition. I'll show you here the rear passenger quarter, 3.0. Again, very consistent numbers. 3.5. Again, I'll do it right down here. 3.0. Again, this is the top from the passenger side. You can see again how nice this all is. There's no rips, there's no tears. Now this area here on the passenger side, which again is the area that falls into that area in the back that sits in there, this does have a slight tear. So I would say you can compare it to my finger here. It's a really small tear, but it's not anything that's too noticeable, but definitely is starting to just wear slightly there. I just want to make sure people are aware of that. And again, I'm sure if this sat outside in the warm weather, this would stretch out really nicely. Again, as soon as we're done with this video, we're putting the top back down. It's going to sit in there. We're going to put the hard top back on it. And once again, that's what ends up happening when you don't use it a lot. But anyway, front windshield over here is brand new as well. Looks gorgeous. This is in great condition here. This mirror, chrome mirrors really add an extra touch with the door handles and the fenders and so forth. Again, this is free of any imperfections. Here's maybe something that's a tiny, like, oh, I thought it was a scratch. It's actually a piece of hair. Shows you how picky we're getting here. But anyway, it's in beautiful condition. I'll go ahead and use the paint meter. 4.5. So you can see where these numbers jump around a little bit. 3.5, 3.0, 5.0. So there you go. Making our way over to the passenger front fender here. Again, it's in beautiful condition. This is clearly one of the cleanest BMW Z8s on the market. Again, we're in a well-lit showroom with an LED light going over this car panel by panel. It is beautiful. I'd say perfect. Paint meter. Again, these fenders do typically read higher. As you can see, a 6.5. If you look at other BMW Z8 paint meter readings, that is very common. Oops. See how durable this is here. Let's try it now. 5.0. Okay, now as we make our way over to the hood, again, I'm just going to hit this area of the hood with the paint meter. 3.0, again, very consistent with the other side. 3.0, and I'll do one more. 3.5. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, before we forget, let's touch base on this front wheel. This is actually, again, brand new tire. This is the only wheel that has a little bit of curb rash on the edge. Oh, actually, you know what? Not even curb rash. This is actually just a little residue from the tire. So I take that back. We have no curb rash. It's in beautiful condition, near flawless, maybe a couple of pin size imperfections, but it's about as good as it's going to get. Absolutely beautiful. So now I'm going to make my way into the interior. I'm going to go ahead and put the top down. And speaking about the top, before I forget, this is the hard top, which you can see from our photo gallery. This is in beautiful condition. Not always the case with these hard tops. Once again, it depends on how they were taken care of, how they were stored, and so forth. This one is in amazing condition. It's like brand new. The hard top stand works great. Again, we can put this light on here, search for even a pin-sized chip. I see nothing here to speak of. I describe it as good as it's ever going to get. Stunning. We did also do a paint correction on here. We applied ceramic coating on here as well. That's a couple $1,000 value, by the way. You can see that on our invoice. Make sure to reference that. But again, look at the seals. Look how beautiful all this is. It's like it just came out of a box. 20 years old. Okay, so now I'm going to get inside the vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and put the top down so you can see it work. That's all there is to it. That's how quickly the top goes down. It really works quite nicely. I'm going to just kind of step out of here for a moment and let you see the interior. The interior is in absolutely beautiful condition. It's reflective of the exterior. Again, it's very, very hard to find something that's 20 years old that's been maintained properly. Some cars have a beautiful exterior, then you look at the interior, it's not so nice. Certain odors, whether it's mildew smells or pet smells or smoke smells or perfume smells, whatever it is, this vehicle is free of any of that. You can see the door panels here are in absolutely amazing condition. You can see there's no wear on any of these armrests, handles, all your power mirror switches. The painted portion of the door panels is beautiful. The painted portion of the dash is beautiful. All the gauges are crystal clear. The steering wheel doesn't have any imperfections in it. There's a little tiny thing here, maybe like, nope, I was gonna say maybe that was like the wheel earlier, but it does have a little imperfection here. Again, that's from getting in and out of the vehicle when people are driving it and so forth over the years. But you can see these bolsters on these seats are perfect. This is another area in here where a lot of these cars get worn out in here, they crack in here and so forth. Telltale signs of somebody that was a little bit rough. This vehicle here, it's like beautiful. There is a little tiny scratch right here as well. I just want to make note of that. And again, that's from getting in with your feet and kicking that. So just this area here, which again is very common, but this seat is in beautiful condition. These have not been dyed or sprayed or anything like that. They're just original and they're beautiful. You can see the whole center console is in beautiful condition. The shifter, the boot, all of the knobs and switches. And again, everything is in great working order. What I'll do is I'll make my way over to the passenger side and I'll show you what that looks like. Again, this side you don't really see as much because obviously there's not a passenger in the car as much as there is a driver. This is basically as beautiful as it can get over here. Underneath, the rugs are spotless. Absolutely amazing condition. The dash is in beautiful condition. You got the cup holder. Of course, these seats are heated. This seat's also in beautiful, beautiful condition. There might be the tiniest little imperfection here. I don't even know what that is. It's not even a rip or tear, it's just a little bump. But you can see here how nice this is, and all the stitching on the bolsters is beautiful. The back area where the headrests are and these roll bar pieces, this looks, the paint work, everything on that full console is in stellar condition. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Last but not least is this door panel again on this side. It's free of any imperfections, and we do a really good job with our photography. So you can go back in the photo gallery and you can look at all these photos. I think there's like 40 photos of the interior and just see how beautiful it is. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to open the trunk compartment, or I'm sorry, the engine compartment, and show you what that looks like. Check this out. So remember, this car is 20 years old. So the first thing I want to show you is this hood insulation here. It's in like new condition. A lot of times this gets real nasty over time. Both of the hood lights are working. You can see the cowl area where all the plastic is. It's in beautiful condition, no oxidation, no deterioration. You can see the area where the brake booster is and the master cylinder and all of that. It still has all of its original Lucas stickers on here. All of this paintwork in here is like brand new. The numbers that were stamped, all the stickers. Again, we took a ton of photos of this engine compartment so you could see it with your own eyes. I am going to reference just a few notes here, which I think are important, and then we'll kind of conclude this video. So I just want to mention a BMW Performance carbon fiber strut brace was installed at the dealership. That's a common thing with these cars that people ask if it has or if it doesn't. This one does. This is a 4.9 liter dual overhead cam, dual Vanos 32 valve V8 engine that was factory rated with 394 horsepower and 368 foot-pounds of torque. Again, the engine was recently serviced, which was included new spark plugs. It runs awesome. This engine, known internally as the S62, was built by BMW Motorsport and was shared with the E39 M5 Sport Saloon. The engine is located behind the front axle in order to provide a 50-50 weight distribution. They claimed from BMW 0 to 62 acceleration was 4.7 seconds. Some other tests actually report quicker results than that. So this was a car that really performed well. The engine is coupled to a 6-speed transmission, which again shifts very smoothly. The transmission in this car shifts like butter. The undercarriage is highly detailed. You can see that in the photo gallery, just like this engine compartment is here. There's no signs of oxidation, deterioration. It still retains all of its original factory paint marks, stickers. It has an aluminum space frame. It's got M driving dynamics control and dynamic stability control and dynamic brake control. And of course, the all-season traction with limited slip differential makes a huge difference when you're driving the car. So again, you got to check out all the photos that we provided. You will clearly see all of the factory VIN tags throughout the entire vehicle, which are all still in the proper location, the inner fenders, the hood, the door jamb, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're in the market for one of these cars, they're only increasing in value. This is a great opportunity to buy a great car. So we appreciate you watching this video. What I'm going to do is get back into the car. I'm going to go ahead and start it. It's going to be a cold start so you can hear how wonderful it runs, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you. So now that I'm back inside the car, we're going to go ahead and start it. It will be a cold start so you can listen how beautiful it runs. Before I do that, I would ask to please sign up for our VIP email blast if you have not done so already. We have thousands of people on that list. It's the best way to stay in contact with us. We would also ask that you Follow us on social media. We're on all the platforms. So again, we appreciate your interest. MS Classic Cars is not a large high volume dealer, but we are definitely doing big things. Again, please do your homework on our company, and I think you'll be very impressed. So I'm going to go ahead and start it, let you listen how beautiful she runs. That's all there is to it. That's a cold start. It's been a couple days since we've actually started this vehicle. It fires right up. It's extremely user-friendly. Picture yourself sitting behind the wheel of this amazing car. Appreciate you watching. Thank you.